Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio. Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 299. I'm your host, Brandon Reef. I'll be joined momentarily by my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. And my oh my, have we had a week of sports, everybody. We've had a hell of a week of sports. We've got the Pacers, second round playoffs right now against the New York Knicks going on. We've got three other NBA semifinal matchups going on there. We've got postseason news. We've got a lot going on tonight. As you can see, I've got my Hicks 31 Hicks versus Knicks shirt on. So shout out to the shop Indy for that. But we've got a barn burner tonight with not only the ball game, but at 7:30 here in a half hour, we're going to have Ball State head coach of golf, MAC, two-time MAC Coach of the Year, the 2024 MAC champions, Mike Fleck and the Ball State golf program. We're going to have them joining us. We're going to have Coach Fleck join us here at 7:30. We're going to talk all things golf. We're also going to talk the Cardinals going to the NCAA regionals here next weekend. So we're going to talk that, what's in store, how the postseason experience works in golf, how do you advance, those type of things. We'll coach up with Coach Fleck. They just won the MAC championship last week out here in, about a week and a half or so ago, out here at Chatham Hills in Westfield, Indiana. So that'll be great. We're going to catch up with Coach Fleck. That'll be 7:30 tonight, but it's going to be basketball heavy until then, and afterwards, Pacers play tonight. So we're going to get started here with my coach, Jonathan Birdsong, joining JB. How are you?
Man, what a day it has been. And, you know what I'm saying? I still want to go a little bit nuclear on the officiating from the Pacers and Knicks game. I know we got to talk about that, you know what I'm saying, with us being an indie show. But like that, man, Brandon Reef is good. Always be back on. It is episode, Crossroads Sports episode 299. Can you believe it? 299.
Almost 300.
300. Almost 300. Big show tonight. We got Coach Mike Fleck from Ball State University on the caveat. Everybody knows he's been on there at least like the past couple seasons and whatnot, and other emissaries and whatnot. So it's a great time. You know what I'm saying? Summertime, he's MAC Coach of the Year. He's going to share some of that two times, his second time winning it. But I don't know. I think it might just be a little bit sweeter, you know what I'm saying, winning this year, man. But so I can't wait to chop it up with him as well. But like, nah, man, Brandon, where do you want to start? We got NBA playoffs to chop up as well. Where do you want to start?
Let's dive right into the main one. The one everybody cares about, Pacers and Knicks. The rematch of the 90s. John, I went live the other night after the game. It's let's first a quick recap of that game. The officiating is just completely shit. Just complete shit in the NBA right now. I've heard people say, hey, we need to call it both ways, but then you don't call it at the end of a game like that. There was a lot of sketch calls there that I would say home cooking, but and a friend of the program was right in the crosshairs of a lot of it. Who's been on this show before with Tyler Ford, a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
But John, man, Pacers had that game. I felt like even with a Tyrese Halliburton who only had 6 points, only had 6 shots total. And the bench was not doing anything for New York. That New York gave their best shot. Their guys stepped up and hit when it needed to. Pacers did not play their best. Only lost by 4 on the road. I think it looks great going into this evening. But recapping Monday night, the officiating, just complete travesty. Your thoughts?
This is complete travesty, man. You can go back, and I know there was a small, minute voices that said, well, look at your all-star. He only had 6 points. It's hard to get Jalen Brunson got out of call. I'm just gonna talk. I'm kind of talking as fan talk. Jalen Brunson gets out of call. How many times did he go to the free throw line?
1,000.
How many times did our all-star go to the free throw line? I'm not saying we know.
He's a bigger flopper than LeBron James.
Well, I would say DiVincenzo. I would say DiVincenzo is a bigger flopper than Ginobili, LeBron James, Reggie Miller, anybody who got that flop. You know what I mean? So I don't even know the official who called the moving by, like Miles, you didn't call the call on Miles' feet being set. He called the call on the head jerk reaction.
Right.
I said, man, Steve Javie and Tim Donaghy's rolling over their graves, and they ain't dead yet. But that's just terrible. And just not knowing what a foul is, so you can see a guy, it's everywhere. And kind of all the series. So a foul, I just don't know. Contact you get contact sometimes on the baseline, and sometimes it's not. You get contact going to the hoop, and they don't blow the whistle. So I really don't know. Are they watching the game, or are they refing the game? Because there's two different things. Those are two totally different things. Watching is what fans do, and what Crossroads Sports does. Sportscasters, referees are paid to call the game.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, just completely. Miles Turner going up, and it's very clear that Brunson fouls him, no call. But on the other end, you blink or you accidentally breathe on Brunson, and he's going to flop to the fifth row, and it's a horrific foul. He may be my most hated player in the league right now. He may be. He's more than Giannis.
But you can't. What I will knock is his aggressiveness and being the leader of his team. He I don't even know how many bench points they got.
3.
I know they didn't get right. So he has to be somewhat aggressive. He has to, and the coach has to be somewhat savvy. We didn't necessarily get that out of Rick Carlisle, and that's no knock on Rick Carlisle. Ran what they normally ran. It is what it is, man. The referee, again, you can appreciate the play of Brunson. You can also appreciate the rebounding prowess of Josh Hart. Come on, man. He's 6'4.5", and he got
actually he may be the most hated.
Basketball 101. Y'all got to block out the shooting, y'all. You have to block out the free throw.
Yeah, that's basic.
They thought that you know what I mean, but they let him. He almost had a triple double.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just being a hard nosed player. So I think the Knicks mentally were more playoff ready, but
I think we were ready. I do. I think we were ready, John.
Still a shame though, because the best version of Tyrese Halliburton is not what Donovan Mitchell does. He has to score 45 points.
Let me ask you this:
you said this. Go ahead.
Is the man hurt? Because if you're making $200 million, and I texted you when the lights are on bright, that $200 million needs to start shining, and it did not with 6 shot attempts. You only took 1 shot in the second half. If you're hurt, be out and stay out. Let T.J. McConnell play because he was having a hell of a game.
He had a good game.
Obi Toppin had a great game.
As a leader, man, you don't want to. I mean, if it comes out afterwards, if the patients, get gentleman swept or go 7, whatever,
Don't say
and
that.
they said Tyrese Halliburton was playing with a partially whatever, then you know what I'm saying. But if you're out there, man, you kind of do. I get it though, Brad. Especially in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying. You 3 for 6. We know y'all stat watch, right? Just because of the contract and the minutes watch. Y'all stat watch. Dude, you got to get more than 6 shots. You cannot be passive. He had a pretty good. Go ahead. He had a pretty good defense. Steals. He had 3 steals, 7 assists, but 6 shots, man. Come on, you got. You know what I'm saying. And Ben Mather's not coming. He's not walking through that door.
No.
Right. So you're missing the offensive fire punch right there. So if you want me to break it down into percentages, Brandon, I can. That's again. He didn't get any calls like Brunson did.
Brunson got calls like it's Michael Jordan out there.
Man, Brunson got Kobe Bryant calls. I was like, wow. But again, you cannot, and he is clutch. So you can't take those things away from him. But the referees.
We got to stop with what happened to the flopping? Didn't we start getting texts out for flopping? Because I seen
it was supposed to be, but
hella times.
I guess it's hard to prove.
Well, listen, in a sport where we already go to the monitor for everything else, and you can't go to a monitor for a potential kickball in a playoff game like that, but you'll go to the monitor for everything else.
Right.
There's no black or gray. There's no gray area with that. It's either he kicked it or he didn't. There's no gray area. But we're going to sit there and look at other stuff that it has gray area. It makes no sense, the NBA Replay Center. And at this point, I mean, it's just like we talk about with football, but like it's either he did or he didn't. There's no gray, and that cost him. And you can't review. What the hell's that? You review everything else.
Right. Right.
You know, it's
Now, this,
just frustrating, man. And I've talked to a lot of Pacer fans, and I've talked just NBA fans. There's a lot of people on Twitter, not even Pacer fans, that said the Pacers got fleeced. They got fleeced. And I'm not trying to say sour grapes here, but I mean, come on. And here's my other thing: Tyrese Halliburton. If you these lower back spasms, I think it's more than that, John. You had 3-4 days of rest between the series starting, and it's still hampering you. I don't even know if it is an injury thing, John, because Tyrese Halliburton's not a dunker, and he went up for a few dunks um, recently. So I don't even know if I would say the back's hurting because of that. But
right.
if it is, you need to put whatever's
The
out there the
aggressiveness.
best,
We want
and have your best
a
players say,
little bit
listen.
more aggressive.
Yeah, and this
Right.
this is not a good take. This is not a fan friendly take. I love Tyrese Halliburton, but if I'm Pacers management, when this series when the tournament's over and you lose and you're out, I think you have a hard discussion with Tyrese that says, "Hey, maybe you need to back it down for the entire summer. Maybe not go to the Olympics. We're paying you $200 million. We need to make sure you're good to go. Maybe you need to step in and do that because the dude's been on the go since the last year and a half."
Yeah, I understand that, but once you make a commitment to Team USA, that kind of that's a wholly different brand, and that that kind of just adds to the mystique of players. So I get what I do.
Well, then he could go and just play 2 minutes.
He might, man.
JB, I got my shirt on tonight. I've got it on the Facebook Live, Hicks 31 with the Pacers font from the 90s. Hicks versus Knicks. So I've got that shirt on. Shout out to the shop, Indianapolis, for that.
There you go. I think the Pacers bounce back tonight.
Absolutely. I got spread and money line. Spread's 5.
We'll definitely see a better. They got good games out of Neesmith. They got good game out of Obi Toppin. I don't think the Knicks in a fair game. If a fair game is called and they have the same, we get the same offensive input out of those particular players, man. And even little Ben Shepherd got in for a couple of shots, man. I think the Pacers win.
I mean, come on. A fluke 3-pointer at half from Hartenstein? Come on now.
Yeah, that was cool.
Come on now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel good where we're at as a team with this. Miles.
I'll tell you what, though, Brandon. So you talk about off, in the future, the Pacers are probably going to say they're pretty good because they feel like they're ahead of schedule. They just beat the Bucks. I get it. I get it was the Bucks minus Giannis. But Dame Lillard and they weathered the storm.
Yeah,
I get it. It's a shitstorm. The Bucks are a shitstorm. It would just feel a whole lot better if you got it. Like you can see it on tape. You see they can beat the Knicks. I'm not saying it's a blowout matchup at every position, but they can beat the Knicks. And when the referees do something like that, man, that game is always gonna be mired.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I put out earlier on our Facebook page and on Twitter. I said the Knicks have an additional 3 starters tonight, and it was the 3 referees for tonight's game. So, got a nice little chuckle. Mark, I don't want to say Mark Davis because he does ESPN. We have tonight's Mark Davis. We have Mark Davis, Josh Tiven, which I'm not a fan of his at all. And JB DeRosa. Those are our 3 officials tonight up in New York. So they should be wearing Knicks jerseys.
Who's in Jersey watching the tape?
Tyler.
He's blind too, whoever it is.
Probably Tyler, our guy. We'll take a quick call. We got a call. We'll see. We'll take this here real quick. See who we got. Crossroads Sports, who we got on?
Yeah, this is Naj, man.
What's up, Naj? How are you, buddy?
Long time.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Good, man. I'm hoping for a little bit more of a fair match tonight with our Pacers and the Knicks. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. 'Cause I think if you talk to every fan base, they'll say that. And ultimately what happened is the boy Adam Silver looked at things as far as the league was concerned. those early 50s and 70s we were seeing during the season. And that All-Star game was the final nail in the coffin where he said, man, we're going back to 90s protocols, man. We're not calling every ticky-tack thing. And I think we got a much better product. Now, Indiana fans, yeah, that call on that screen was egregious. That was a bad call. But I don't think, like, the game was necessarily just badly called. That one was terrible. I agree with that. But, yeah, this is an even matchup, man. It's different play styles. You guys play so fast. The Knicks tried to play that way for a while, and I think they figured out that they're going to have to slow it down. Like, they can't play that Indy 500 stuff with y'all. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting series, man. I'm excited to watch it.
Yes. It's a decent series. I kind of thought we'd get like a Tim Hardaway versus, you talk about 90s, man. You talk about Kevin Johnson versus Tim Hardaway. And our homie Halliburton didn't necessarily kind of show up to be, I don't know, Tim Hardaway. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Usually in those matches, Kevin Johnson, I thought he beat Tim Hardaway. I can't remember. But, no, I don't think he was as aggressive enough as he should have been in the fourth quarter. 6 shot in this, you know what I'm saying, shoot happy league, like you said, you know what I'm saying. Well, maybe not just pick that. But again, though, now he didn't get no calls, man. He didn't get to the line, not like Brunson. But again, I think
I got him over 2 free throws tonight. So I saw the same thing you did. So I was like, man, I'm taking that back because ain't no way in hell he's going to go another game without getting to the line. But he wasn't as aggressive enough. And if anybody remembers any call I've made onto this show, y'all know my love for the great T.J. McConnell. We saw what can happen if you get T.J. out there against that Knicks team where the guards aren't necessarily fleet of foot and you got to stay in front of TJ. Hey, man, that ain't easy work.
Right. Right.
I almost wonder if you put Neesmith with his length on Brunson. Because Nembhard, he got bullied. Nembhard got bullied, and TJ kept up somewhat, but obviously got shot over from him. But I think you got to throw somebody bigger. I heard on the radio here, sports radio here in Indianapolis, they're saying put Pascal on him for a little bit more longer length, but I think he still runs circles around Siakam.
Yeah, because I don't think we should look at Brunson as a traditional guy who's scoring and you're saying you need to shut him down. Just think of it more of like the Iverson mold where they're running so much offense through this dude. He's getting so many touches that he's gonna score, but not necessarily because you didn't defend him well or because he's so great. It's just, man, you run that kind of volume by anybody, man. Like you'll put up numbers like the touches are crazy. It's more than Joker almost.
Yeah. If you can just shut down the role players and let Brunson get his, let him get 50, let him get 60, but just stop the other guys. And it's like they've said all series in the past is don't let New York offensive rebound like a machine they are because that's where you get the death kill of one offensive rebound, one pass to another pass to a wide open 3, and it kills you.
Yeah, and I think what we're going to see, though, as this series extends, the Tibbs model, as we all know, man. Look, man, this 48 minutes, 47 minutes, this stuff is going to add up eventually, and we're going to see a little attrition as this series goes, especially with Indiana playing so fast. But one thing to never forget, Rick Carlisle benched Jalen Brunson last time he was in Dallas, and I don't think that guy forgot that. So that's another aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fourth quarter he didn't even play 10 minutes, and they needed a bucket, and he didn't play him. So and he low key, it got through the wire that he actually tried to trade Jalen Brunson for Halliburton. Back when we with the Kings. So he could have go 6, could have go 7 for darn sure. The Pacers get a win tonight. I don't think they lose a game at home.
No, I think we win tonight. Spread's 5 now. I took money line and spread. You got the Phantom of the Opera there tonight as well. Reggie's calling the game. They have to step up for this one.
Uh-oh. The ghost.
Have to. So.
Shout out to Reggie, man.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm with you guys. I want to see if Pascal can do a little more. What'd you say?
I said Reggie might sneak in and shoot up. Shoot a couple threes. Yeah, they can. Mr. Robinson, ain't Mr. Robinson out?
Yeah, he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's out of there.
I mean, their interior just got a little bit lighter, and that means they're, Thibodeau got to go down on that rotation. So yeah, Siakam
Yeah.
and definitely another good game out of Obi Toppin. Patriots should be looking good.
Yeah. Nas.
So Harris team can't get away with fouling. So yeah.
Right.
Oh, you guys got to go.
No,
I know you got
you're
an
good.
interview
No,
coming up.
we
So
got a
yeah.
couple minutes. I wanted to ask you, are we all believers now in the T-Wolves that the finals are looking good for them?
I wouldn't say finals yet because I want to see what they do with the Dallas OKC winner. But that rule change that we talked about a couple of minutes ago, they're the biggest beneficiary of that because they got so many guys with length and defense is kind of their calling card. So this change has kind of affected them the most, man. Like the way that they sped Joker up and made him play faster. And then with Jamal being banged up, it made it to where it's like, okay, we're going to double him. And what are you guys going to do about it after we double him? And then we got guys who we're not scared of leaving one-on-one with him. So this was the perfect matchup. And Ant is an ascending star. So I want to see them in the finals. But, man, everything we know about Cat, I can't just throw that away and say Cat is this new guy now.
Right.
Like, I'm having a hard time accepting that.
John?
Nah, they gonna beat the Nuggets. And you know how
They don't have a point guard.
Like,
They're exposing Denver for not having a point guard.
Yeah. I like the Nuggets to get to the finals, man. I know it's crazy that sounds.
You mean
I like the Nuggets
T-Wolves?
to get to the finals. That dang, I said the Nuggets. I like the T-Wolves. But if Jamal Murray was 100%, could we see? They got to win 2 in Minnesota. Oh, man,
Yeah.
that's tough. And I don't think nobody. They Joker special, but I don't think they have anybody else secondarily. I thought it was gonna be the kid Porter, you know, but he had a good first half in every game, in the first 2 games, and then he kind of disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So unless Joker can go wild for 60 and 15, it looks like they're gonna get swept. He's gonna have to score 60 though.
Yeah, because him and Jamal open up everything for Porter. If Porter has to kind of cook his own food, man, it's not going to be a big meal. You know what I mean? Like he's a strictly catch and shoot, no conscious guy. But, you know, he doesn't create anything. But let me just say this, though. This Minnesota series, to me, may be a sea change for the whole league because everybody's watching and saying, after the Gobert trade, we all called Minnesota stupid because we all thought the trade was bad. Looks like it worked out. And I think everybody's looking at the roster and saying, you know what? How come we don't have at least 1 or 2 7-footers to where we can play that style? I think everybody got so invested in small ball and so scared of 7-footers being played off the court that we got a lot of teams that don't have size beyond their starters. So I think that's going to change going forward. And
they got buy-in to where Coach Finch can criticize them, and he didn't lose the locker room.
Yep.
I remember they lost the close game. It was in the early part of winter time. Karl-Anthony Towns was having a great one, and he was trying to have a greater one, y'all, right? And it was a game they should have won, and they lost. And he got on national media. Finch got on national media and was like, "Man, we had selfish play tonight." And they didn't and here they are. They didn't fold. So you kind of got to commend. And then like I said, Edwards is in. He's all in with the coach. Towns, what is Towns like? You gonna cry about? You want to go to New York now? You know what I mean? So I mean, I like this. I like when teams. It's kind of almost reminiscent of an NCAA tournament. Everybody's all in, and as we all know, if everybody's all in, everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's the first key to winning.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, dude, that's one of the most fascinating NBA stories. Karl-Anthony Towns had 60 points, but he started hunting his shot when they were up in a way that became a detriment to the team. And Finch didn't let that go. He's like, look, man, look what you did. Like, you got 60 points, okay, and what? We lost because you played selfishly. And man, that was a nice setup for him as a coach. Like, that was a perfect scenario to yell at people.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, the last thing I have to ask you, we haven't talked much since they had the NFL draft. What the hell is going on down in Atlanta? You're drafting a quarterback when you just paid a large contract for Kirk Cousins.
All right. Now I will say this.
Defend
I think
yourself.
the move was like no matter what, you're trying to hedge your bets. Like we just have to call it what it is. It's kind of the Green Bay Packer model where you're trying to get the successor in your building ahead of time. Now let me throw these two things out and see if it makes more sense. We're probably going to lose a draft pick for tampering with Kirk Cousins next year in a draft where supposedly there's not much quarterback talent. And we're also the Atlanta Falcons. So, like, us making mistakes is likely to happen. So we're probably better off protecting ourselves and hedging our bet. At first, I wasn't with it, but just thinking about it, man, after a couple of days, I'm okay with the move now, man. Because if Kirk comes in and gets hurt, or in 2 years, if we want to run Kirk out of town because it's going so horribly as Atlanta free agents typically go, and then you try the new kid and see what happens. So I just think we're hedging our bets, man. This is the Falcons, man. We don't do things correctly, man. So sometimes you got to make up for that, man.
Right.
I thought of you instantly that Thursday night when the draft came across with Penix. I said, "Oh man, I can't wait to hear what Nas has to say about this."
Oh, man, I thought we was getting a receiver. I was like, oh yeah, man, here comes a receiver. We can load up. Yeah, so I was really mad at first, man. I've calmed down now, man. I'm glad I waited to talk about it.
Well, if you're okay with it, man. I'm okay with it then. So I'm all right with it. So I know JB was.
Dude, again, this is the Falcons, man. Kirk Cousins season-ending injury in week 3. Like that's a real possibility.
Oh, it is. He might not even be healthy to come into the season too from his injury. That Achilles. You know?
It wouldn't surprise me if he failed his physical. This is the Falcons, man. This is the kind of stuff we do.
Perfect. Any last things, Nas?
Nah, man. Good luck for y'all tonight, man. I hope y'all do beat them. There's too many smiles on Knicks fans' faces. I haven't seen that in over 30 years. It's just, since way back in the day. And I think we need to put a stop to it, man. Let's go and put some sadness in New York. That's all I got.
Beautiful. Thanks, Nas. Have a good one, buddy.
No, cool.
All right. Our guy Nas calling in. John, if he's okay with the Falcons' moves, who am I to say it's not all right? I'm going with him.
Brandon, I totally forgot about that tampering deal.
Yeah.
That might come to fruition, man. And now it's kind of like they kind of, secured themselves.
Yeah.
At least the quarterback, for next year, the pick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know about the quarterback draft class not being too good next year. I mean, I think Shedeur Sanders is up there, and, there's a couple others.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, Ewers.
Lil Manning ain't coming out.
Alabama's quarterback, he'll be out. So, Milroy, I think is his name. I can't remember. Football season's so far away right now. But, I think there's plenty. John, can we go ahead? Man, Celtics in 4. I mean, they're just crushing teams right now, man. Just go ahead and look. Can we just bypass the Eastern Conference Finals? I'm sorry, Pacers fans, but you might just bypass it. Just let them go to the finals.
I mean, it'd be good for the Pacers, though, if they get to the finals. I mean, they wouldn't necessarily match up. Like the Celtics, even without Porzingis, seems like are a little bit more edgier. And, Jalen Brown gets a whole lot more shots. And Al Horford, he's another timeless wonder, still out there putting in work, man. So, Celtics got a deep, they answered their issues that they had last year at point guard. They got Drew Holiday. They answered their issues at depth. They got guys contributing, coming in. Like Derek White, if Derek White averages, 17, 25 points between, I know that's a big gap, but if he's doing this and he's assisting and rebounding, right, you can say the Celtics is going to the finals for darn sure.
Yeah, they're looking good.
But no, man, they look real good. I still think Cleveland might have a game in them to avoid a potential sweep, maybe like a game 4. Or even a game 3, right, when they go back to Cleveland. Karis LeVert is still out there. Anybody remembers his name? And Garland, but they got some firepower, but they're up front a little light. So Cleveland is gonna be they're gonna have to have Donovan Mitchell probably score 55 points. Yeah, the last against Orlando, he was averaging 40. You know what I'm saying? So in order to being swept. They're going to have to get matched up out of Garland and Mitchell. But I think the Celtics got this wrapped up.
If you're Lakers head coach or management, do you go after Ty
Uh-oh.
Lue, Mike Budenholzer, or J.J. Redick as your head coach, or somebody else?
It's kind of a J.J. Redick, man. I feel like that's an ESPN fuse.
I do too.
Like we're trying to get, but I'm not saying JJ doesn't know basketball.
He does the
Of
pod.
course, he's a Dookie. Of course, I respect that. He doesn't necessarily respect some of this cat wild shit he says about the 80s and 90s eras. I'm like, bro, what the heck are you talking about? They added teams in, but like we still got sad ass teams. The Wizards are sad. Have been always sad. I go down the list, but that'd be a tirade. But I don't know, Brandon. Like it sounds like gonna be LeBron. All jokes aside, Byron Scott has said it.
Just put him
Another
as
Laker said, you know what I'm saying? Tim Hardaway said it. Player coach, man. He's making all the moves anyway.
Just bring Phil back, man. Just bring Phil. Keep it simple.
Phil's probably a little bit too old. Him and LeBron. You would think him and LeBron would kind of see eye to eye, some things, but they don't.
I think Budenholzer is probably your best choice. I do.
Right now, he's quality, and he knows how to handle babies.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we'll keep. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, John. Crossroads Sports brought to you by Scott K. Nichols State Farm Insurance, as well as Madrick Huster Motorsports. Without those two, we wouldn't be able to do what we do each and every single day and of the week, bringing you this show. And John, it's that time. We got our special VIP guest, friend of the program. Not only is he a two-time MAC Coach of the Year, but the 2024 MAC champions, Ball State Golf head coach Mike Fleck. Coach, welcome to the program. Congratulations.
Hey, Brandon, Jonathan, thanks so much. It's great to be with you guys again.
Absolutely. Yeah, just completely happy for them and what they're doing. And dude, everybody's back next year, and they're adding pieces. Scary squad,
Dude,
scary squad.
you talking
Um,
Lakers at Ball State.
Sorry to the Facebook audience if you were watching there. I got to work on our scenes because I didn't have audio for Coach Fleck there on the Facebook. So if you want the audio version with our interview with Coach Fleck, it's head to our podcast page. It'll be up on the website as well. I may even pull the audio separately and put it somewhere. So, but frustrating that it didn't seem like it downloaded. Let's bring on our other guy here. Our guy, hey. Man, we got Reggie in the booth tonight. There's not very much time. You get me, JB, and D-Cot all to agree on something. But we need a Pacers win tonight, D-Cot.
Oh, man. We absolutely do. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Okay. I didn't hear her say, now you're unmuted. Yeah, man, we need to win. They played well enough to win last game. Those last few, minute and 20 seconds is what cost us. What I wanted to talk about was that call, right? And everybody's up in arms about it. Did you notice that referee anticipated that call? If you watch that referee, he anticipated calling that block. And I think, and he's a human being, right? And I don't think that they cheated and all that stuff. I think he anticipated the call because he knew that there was going to be a high screen coming off of that. And soon as there was contact, even before the flop, he called the foul. Yeah. And I just believe that was just a human error. But that's okay, though, because we got a second game tonight, and we played well enough to win, and I believe we're going to win tonight.
I think so as well. We're +5. I took spread and money line tonight. And if I could sprinkle a little on red 9, I think they all would hit.
Yeah, man. Hey, that'd be nice. You know what I did like about what happened the other night was also two things. With how Miles played. Remember I talked to you all the time about him dunking, right? When he dunks and he hits a couple of shots, his body language is better. His energy's better. I just believe he plays better, man. He was aggressive, and I liked the way he played. T.J. McConnell was outstanding. I think we need more from our two $40 million players, though. I'll tell you that.
I was about to ask you.
If we can get
$200
more,
mil. You want to step up, right?
Yeah. If we can get out of our $40 million players that we got out of a $9 million, TJ and an $18 million Turner. Well, no, it's $30 million because it went up. That's right. But I think you follow my point. I think they have an opportunity to win. It's unfortunate that New York had the big man got hurt. He's like a decent enough guy. But you know what? Injuries are part of the game, man. We got to keep playing.
I feel like I'm hoping attrition will play a part in this series. Because you got to think, man, New York they got 7 guys. They had 8 with Mitchell, but 7 guys running. At some point, these dudes are going to get tired as the series goes on and on. So Indiana just needs to withstand that.
You saw them. Well, guess what? You got the crowd that gives you a little bit of adrenaline and all that. But this is now you're talking about you had a day in between games. The crowd's going to help you a little bit, but it's not going to be like it was coming off of a series win and your first game is at home. I think it's going to come down to execution, and I'm going to say this. I absolutely believe whoever the best second guard is that's playing needs to be in at the end of the game, whoever that is. If it's TJ, if it's Nembhard had his moments the other night also, but whoever's playing the best needs to be on the court, period. End of story. I love Nembhard. It's a great story of a second-round pick and all those things. However, TJ played outstanding. I think he may have asked out because he put a lot of energy in those first 3.5 quarters, man. So he may have – a lot of people are saying, keep him in the game. But the guys, if he's spent, you don't want to wear him out and then have him get hurt because he's tired and he's trying to compensate, right? So it's going to be – the Turner deal is going to be a big deal. And what's the over-under on Halliburton shots tonight, Brandon? I know you know the number.
Oh, I didn't know the number, but I knew the points over and under, and I was going to take the over for that, but I decided to stay on the money. I went money line instead, but over under points for him. John, give me a guess.
17.
16 and a half.
Yeah, see, and I wasn't watching, by the way. But I'm gonna tell you this: if he's not willing to be a scorer, because he's not going. Listen, he can't guard an empty casket.
If
We
you're
call it
hurt,
like we
stay
want.
away.
Say it again. Say it again, Brandon.
If you're hurt, stay away, man. Let's get guys in there that can actually
Yeah.
can do it.
Exactly. So I don't want to hear this. Well, he had a back injury. I don't want to hear it. If he's hurt, sit down, because you're hurting the team in these places. We got ball handlers that can be out there making things happen. And I'm gonna tell you, both of those guys, number 9 and number 2, they're willing to take a big shot. That's what I like about too.
I think
TJ took that long two, his foot on the line, and you see him turn back to the Knicks bench and say, okay, now what? So that's what I like. Take the big shot.
Yeah, I think
so
let Brunson get his. Just stop. You gotta stop you gotta stop Josh Hart. Stop DiVincenzo. You stop those two, or even one. You stop both. If you just stop one of those two, I think you're all right. I mean, the Knicks played the best game they could play. We didn't have Halliburton play his best game.
Absolutely.
We only lost by 4 on the road. I'm all right with it.
Yeah, and the other thing for that point, right? You talk about Brunson getting his. Well, I mean, you don't just give him his points, but you see how hard he worked for those points, though.
Yep.
Stay on your feet, Nimhart. Stay on your feet. TJ, stay on your feet. He's going for the Dwayne Wade fake pump fake all the time. So stay on your feet on that first lift, because if you notice his game, his right foot's back. He's not shooting that way. I mean, his back left foot. I'm sorry. He's not shooting that way. Stay on the ground and make him work. Pacers win by 6 tonight. That's what I'm thinking.
Love it. I hope so. I don't want to do another. I don't want to do another after game.
I know time. I know time is tight. Hey, listen, if y'all don't hear from me, if we lose tonight, I may be tearing some things up. But around here, you never know.
You might pick up your cousin. You may have to go pick him up.
I just might, man. You never know. But again, I think they're going to win tonight. And even if they don't win tonight, I think coming back home with some home cooking and a better team, regardless, I think at worst case it's 2-2 after the end of the game on Sunday. More likely 3-1 in my thought.
You going to game 3 or game 4?
Nah, man. I'm gonna be on the plane, man, at 9:41. I'm getting down south again, man. I'm doing my thing, doing the big cookout again, man. So.
Okay.
Probably once a month. I'm looking to do that, maybe once every 6 weeks. My job's got me some flexibility, so I'm heading down there. I'll be on the plane, man, heading down there first thing Friday morning. But I will be at the Golden Moon Casino watching the game. So there'll be some red 9 and some black 26 working before the game on Friday and after the game for sure.
Absolutely. I'm taking the wife Friday night, so I'm looking forward to it. Hey, and I got my shirt from the shop, the Hicks 31. So I've got that.
Oh, nice. Question, real quick. Hey, have you been to the Terre Haute one yet, man?
I have not, but it's in the game plan.
Hey, listen, when I get back, I'll be back on the 19th or 20th. One of those, I can't sure which day, but one of those days I'll be back. And let's get together, man, and make a little road trip now. I'm down for a trip.
Sounds good. All right, D-Cot. Go Pacers.
All right, fellas, the game's about to get started anyway. Go Pacers.
All right, that's our guy, D-Cot. John, anything else before we go? I know we're going to lose our audience here shortly for the game, so.
Nah, I just had a couple. Before D-Cot got off, man, I had a couple football tidbits for him, man. Down in Brian Kelly singing Crying the Blues, man. He can't get nobody to come on campus, man. NIL is crazy. NIL, the way NIL works, man, not even LSU can keep guys on campus, man. So, but they're kind of committed to, pushing a quality program over pushing any type of baby free agency that some of these guys are trying to play with their scholarships and whatnot. But other than that, no, man, Brandon. Oh, one more football tidbit. I know how y'all talking about football in the summertime, dude. I watched partial halftime of A.J. McCarron. That man's still alive, still playing football in the UFL, man. It's just a joke, man. But yeah, he's still playing football for the St. Louis Roughnecks in the UFL, man. Believe it or not, they've averaged in 6 games like 35,000 fans, man. So that's good for the UFL and you know what I'm saying, and their brand, but not by and large. But things are coming. Like if they can get 33,000 fans average for a UFL game, the NFL is going back to St. Louis, man. But other than that, man, I just had those 2 little football tidbits, man. Shohei's winning MVP, in Major League Baseball. But you know what I'm saying, that's still all to be determined. But you know what I'm saying, he's still the odds-on favorite, man. Other than that, Brandon, you want to wrap this?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. We'll be back next week. We've got next week Brandon Brantley, assistant coach, Purdue Boilermakers. It's going to be a huge show. Show number 300. Brandon Brantley on 300. Come on now. Tell me it's not lined up in the stars for it. Excited to have him on.
It is.
Enjoy the Pacers tonight. I may go live. May do some things. I don't know. We'll see how tonight's game go. We need this one tonight, Pacers. We need this one. Go Pacers. Conversation continues on Twitter, Facebook. We'll see y'all next week. Enjoy the game.